teachers khan do this time do one particular department tahan ahina students khan la attendance khan shuru hoise. They are playing with the students attendance. Ekjun lamai ki do 80% takishide, and she was going to stand as a candidate for the post of president. But then when this news came out, the teachers along with the HOD hampered her attendance, and then they took it down to 60.
It's not possible for one individual students to cover up the whole class. Ekta platform rakhibi, auditorium dibi. If they are taking us seriously, ekta jaga dina, open space na, open speech dibo dina. Tahan mon students pa kunge mon kushi ase thani dibo lage do. Out of 100 applications, they say one, hardly one uthao. The rest, they'll either tear it up, they'll throw it away, they'll deny it. So things like this have been occurring over and over again in the past recent years.
Welcome to NLTV. Sob manu laga was. Viewers, aji ami khan yete St. Joseph University aina ase. Aru amian huna sabte. Tade aji tahan students council laga office bears uthao lekani tahan election chuli ase koina amian hunu paise. Holibi amian huna sabte tahan yede students kan do itu election laga against hoina tahan protest kuri ase koina amian jani paise. To itu tahan ki karone protest kuri ase nolibi tahan itu against election laga against ki ase amian na jane tahan ki bi hudawdi kurbo aro itu bishide tahan laga reason to ki takishi amian jani kana abnan ki bi janai dibo.
But today is today. You and I friends are going to make it complete. Those are
Acha sister aji abnan protest jai taka to ki gani jai se aro ki itu laga reason to ki se apne alap koi dibo parbo.
Acha mon student kano election ko to ki ase student council ko to student body. We give people the right to perform the platform dibo tan ge speech dina tan ge utho dina manu ge dikhina students khan ba sukuba ai itu to capable ase kotha babi manula mon speech pai mon ditero to itu an saina itu ke diole lage instead of doing that itu nokuri na class wise class se totally 115 classes ase na, and there's just a rough estimation tate just 2 hours dina kun gan participate kase class jau dina tan la agendas dibo ase. But is that the way to hold the election? It's not possible for one individual students to cover up the whole class. Ekta platform rakhibi, auditorium dibi. If they are taking us seriously, ekta jaga dina, open space na, open speech dibo dina. Tahan mon students pa kunge mon kushi ase thani dibo lage do. Itu bi noy. The another thing is, election huishe kuile bi student power nai mohando. Council do puppet nishna ase. Ine rakhise nole do. There is no action that is taken. Mon la side pa mon kiba tahan ye dile bi like application dibo issuing ase kuna tahan ye kuile bi. Aji tak bi. Out of 100 applications, they say one, hardly one uthao. The rest, they'll either tear it up, they'll throw it away, they'll deny it. So things like this have been occurring over and over again in the past recent years. Student body bi has been very recent inga form huado. It will be tanpula do na thakina. Mon students khan ba itu plea kuri graba. Mon la demands upai nai because every college has a student council. Darne diala ase. It so many things that has been happening under na aro pula la council na thayan but they'll give you more details later on. But then tahan ba bi tahan la time de term de ki applications likhishi issue on pataishi mon la students pa grievance pathaina ido noloi do then they'll make up their own excuses noloi do they'll just not respond to it. So things like that has been happening. Aro ita election ita to mon election kone itu kane boss. Yes, so many problems under there. Ita de bishi electricals khan na ido ki ahise holibi ido charina ita aji election ase moi itu do I'll give it to my partner. Tai itu guidelines khan la ko aji.
Tai bagire konishna mohon we are not following the proper guidelines. We fall under UGC. Now, since we are a university, to mohando UGC la under the ase gole to mohando lengdo community itu la guidelines follow koro dro. Aro itu guidelines te ki ase gole to attendance to 75% thayo lage. Aro individual candidates kan kun utwole ase. Ta kan to campaign jaw gole ase gole to ta kan karne do public platform speech do lage. 10 days maximum campaign thayo lage. Post campaign khan do candidates khan poster pi lagalo pare college khan de. But there is no such privileges to the candidates and all. So we don't want this kind of election. We want to change them to change the procedure and then re-elect the candidates and through following all the guidelines and all the guidance of Lengdok committee. na. So this.
Can I know what is Lengtok committee?
See, Lengtok committee itu do UGC na itu do college university kan la bitore guidelines na how they should run na and how they should follow the election and all it kan la upor de ase Lengtok committee.
Acha to apnan aji morning ra protest jai thaka do college management kan our administration kan bi jan thakibo to tan itula opore itatak ti ku response dishna dene.
See, they came. Tahan aishide. Tahan ayan mohan la kota korshe. They are trying to negotiate, so we are waiting for the positive response.
Now what's happening inside the college is tate main hostel the college la bitor ase. Idan you ulau nadina tan bitor students than ke ki kose kule tan authority han ko bado. Idan bitor than lahi vote luina tan la bitor nominate kurna ulai do kose. So that's not the way na. Do right no do half of majority to ite bhade ase aru tan kina nijor lenga khilo paro. So idan debi mon we are making a plea on that. So
To hostelers kan bitore tan tade hostelers kan ye idu election do kurina tate ora tan candidate select kuro ko ase. To itula opore do hostelers kan do tan itula opore tan agree is na na.
we cannot read like every sub manla opinion to tanina aniwa na pare, but we have seen some students trying to come out of the gates but allowed no kuna no le do monla class kan devi. There are some students like especially the sisters tanla nijo faram na aina like matilo ase, they cannot go against them na. Utan de tan aro hostelers bi ki ko ase gule ton inga bharde thakle khetai do ase hostelpa, so inga threat kuna tan you wapas matilo ase. To utan mon will not let them happen that in our midst, so utan janai diwole mon tha.
To amyan huna sabte past few years tebe in our students council uthailibe it's like tan puppet nishna idu use kuri ase ushi to itu laga opore hosana misha ase to alap ko deu parbo
etu du man kolela mondu na aji tok kiman candidate uthise kiman past few years te kiman election hoise etu sob to management khan bahe control kore ase aji tok candidate uthia khan student body karne uku kam koro par nai. Even if they want to do na mahan application diliu tahan mahan la application reject kuri de. Why? Kile application reject kore mahan bi biya karne application dian hoy do. We want our student body to be free na. University, what is a university? University to college ki ucha as do. A university take is higher than a college na, and a college is higher than a higher secondary. But what is happening in this college university is that mahan ge we are not given our freedom rights na mahan la student body na. Council UTV, I as a president of the department of botany, I have no rights. Moi uku right nai ko lebi na mahan la teacher ke uku grievances diliwi mahan la teacher wa jane authority ke kole reject kuri de. Why is that so? Ki lenga ase na aro ekta mahan la ajila main focus ta hode ki le mahan into protest kore ase. One of the main agenda is that mahan ki ase freedom nai student la na, freedom nai, public speech nai, aro ki ase mahan la itu college te no combined events, nothing. Aro ekta do ase ku platform na de student khange towards their goal and towards their future na oku na de 5 agendas ase. Main agendas ki ase gole mahan student khan ki le suffer kore ase itu college itu university de na. Ekta do ase freedom do nai de, freedom do totally na mahan college de itu university de na. Ki kuri tahan last month this year 2023 de last month ba tahan recently nutun rule banaise short break tv long break tv mahan bahar gate bahar olaule mana kuri dise. How is this possible na mahan la canteen do bahar de aso to gate la to short break tv bahar de allowed koro na de na, and moreover mahan ge classroom bitor de boho na de. Is this a university? No hoy do. And moreover de tahan light bi thik supply na kore. To when there is no current, how can we even possibly sit inside the college campus when there is no proper facilities? Tahan la prospectus te tahan la prospectus tahan mahan ge promise corner kise 24/7 power supply kuina kise. And then we are not getting this privileges na as a student. And then freedom la kwa do hisab te kwa sugule do we are not even given our like mahan anytime bimar hoy na, bimar hu jailiwi ki hu jailiwi mahan ge attendance bi balba na de, mahan la application bi reject kore, medical certificate na ane tok mahan la attendance mahan la hoy mahan la leave kya na kore accept na kore. So mahan chutu mutu bimar manu ase na mahan na chutu mutu bimar do kita hoy family manu hi bimar ho jay to family manu la medical certificate kina ani na college ke diwo na inga bi no hoy to mahan idu medical certificate to hoda ani ne tahan ge diwole wi na pari jay. Itu time de tahan ge mahan kuiliwi tahan do mahan attendance na loi to attendance inga na loi gole do mahan kina attendance maintain koro paro আৰু মোৰ অভাৰ তাহান নতুন ৰুল একটা বনাইছে 8:55 তে ঠিক ফুজৰ 8:55 তে ক্লাছ টাইম বহা নাই গ'লে এটেন্ডেন্স ইটোই না দিব গৈছে তো এটেন্ডেন্স ইটোই না দিছে গ'লে মহান ক্যান্ডিডেট খান নহলিবি কোন হলিবি কিনা মহান এটেন্ডেন্স তো ক্ৰাইটেৰিয়া তাহান কলেজ লা এক্সাম দিবলৈ লা এটেন্ডেন্স তো কিনা মেইনটেইন কৰিব পাৰো না মহান বিনা এজ এ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি ষ্টুডেণ্ট we have the right না মহান বি পাৱাৰ অলপ তো থাকিব লাগে তো ষ্টুডেণ্ট বডি লা ভিতৰতে so that মহান বি কিটা আহিব মন যায় না সব মানুহ ইকুৱেল অপৰচুনিটিজ নাপায় তো লাইফতে সব মানুহ ধনী নহয় তো সব মানুহ ঠিক টাইম দে ভাত খায় ঠিক টাইম দে ইনা নাপাৰে তো কোনোবাতো ৰেণ্ট দে থাকে কোনোবাতো পিজি দে থাকে না চ' দে হেভ টু ডু দিয়াৰ অন কৰ্চ লাইক গড়ে কি কৰিব লাগে তাহান বি কৰি নেহে লাষ্টে কলেজতে আহিবলৈ লাগি যায় তো ৰেণ্ট দে থাকান পিজি দে থাকান চ' আৰু একটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কিয় এটা থকাটো এক্সাম লৈ দে মহান দে কেট এক্সাম লৈ এইটো মহান কেট এক্সাম কোৱাটো ইণ্টাৰনেল এক্সাম থাকে এইটো 60 মাৰ্কছ কাৰণে লয় আৰু উইদাউট এনি গেপছ ইন বিটুইন না একদিন বি গেপ না দে ছুটি না দে তো 60 মাৰ্কছ লা লয় তো মহান আফটাৰ 60 মাৰ্কছ এজ নাগা ষ্টুডেণ্ট লাইক নাগা মানুহ আছে গুইনে নহ'লে নৰ্থ ইষ্টে বহা মানুহ আছে গুইনে মহান সব মানুহ ইকুৱেল অপৰচুনিটিজ নাপায় তো গড়ে থাকে তো নিজৰ গড়ে না তো নিজৰ কাম খান কৰি থকা ইনাখান কৰি থকাটো ৰাতি 7-8 ইনকা বি হৈ যায় কেতিয়াবা না কাপড় খান ধুলাই কি কাম কৰি থকাটো তো উইদিন 3 hours to 4 hours we cannot like fully concentrate ourselves to study for 60 marks na for CAT exam তো এইটো তাহান বি অলপ তাতে বুজিব লাগে right after exam class lot of it is very unnecessary on behalf of all the students I'm speaking up na it is very unnecessary তো তাহান ইটো বি অলপ রিল্যাক্সেশন দিব লাগে we have demanded we have requested them not to take class even after exam but still they denied our request why is it so na question bishi ase even if I go on whole day question khatam na hobo eto karone what I want to say is that the college authority should know na what the student basic demands are and then what the student basic necessities to run a university and then if you go to inside the university bahar bodaman sundar ase bitor de gusi chugole apnan bi deep janibo de indoor games kan uku nai de college university bitor de so indoor games khila manohan karne to scope nai do to college de itu university de na to indoor games khila manohan do ki kuro kote jabo at least platform dibo lage to indoor games khila manohan karne bi na indoor games khila han karne bi uku platform nai aro outdoor games khilili তাহানাৰ প্ৰস্পেক্টাছটো গ্ৰাউণ্ড একদম গ্ৰীণ দেখা আছে হ'লেও কি আছে ভিতৰতে আপোনালোকে বি গুচিছিলে দেখিব গ্ৰাউণ্ড কি আছে লাল আছে মাটি লাল আছে একবাৰ বুট চপাই ল'বি 5 কেজি মাটিটো ওলা নিচিনা ওলাই যায় তো হাউ কেন স্পৰ্টছ পাৰ্চন who wants to try to become a better sports person in his life in his career na tahan kina focus koro por tahan laite itu platform khan uku na de moreover they themselves the authority themselves doesn't go with the rule that they have set na tahan la rule sabi 24/7 power backup na de tahan nijer bi na tahan promise korna asile tahan nijer bi na de then how can they expect the students to follow all their guidelines all the rules that they have set in this university that's what I want to convey
mon itu sports la kotha the I don't know if you had mentioned or not see we have not provided proper tents bi hawa ile do nijo bhangina giri jay na ten do and university ekta hoina in such a big ground goroming all over there is no shade there is no trees bole jaga bi nai they expect us to stay outside classroom lock kodi man gorom de bitor de bole na dibo karne tan doran lock kodo na aru bahar de do inneka gorom ase to thik ase bahar de bo diwole si kile do provide a good space na students can bhalba bo parala relax ko parala jaga rakhi na they will even lock the gates we are not even allowed to leave we are not even allowed to stay inside the class so our activities kan hoile bi tan bal bahos no kuna students kan collect kan nam khan quran bi last te misinformation adha na puncha jao aro again mala university la information do ki hoy kali hole siglu do aji tak bi na ko de after class te gor puncha chire inga ahe kun ba do morning te ahe kali la information na like class khan nai chuti ase thon kolela see information the phat time de diwole lage do but there are so many delays on all those aspects na to thon bi saw do se hole bi coming back sab itu ki mon ki koi thakle bi student body ekta strong hoina election elect kras na mona jale itu hala tade balo corrupt student ke power delay whatever grievances we have tade bai jabo do aji mon ba ita ki information apni an ki di thakle bi all of those are grievances mon students la grievances ase why is it not ita tak bi kile ita address hona kile ita tak bi to change hona all these years because student ke power dena itu karne ase we kwanisna mon ine tade show karne rakhela ase that's why we want even the viewers who are watching to understand the purpose of this election, this protest. There was no first day. We just procedure was mon students can get inga protest hole se. To than yeni rukhi di kuna than bi bohala ase to there was no argument say one. It's a very peaceful protest. So apne an bi itne buji dina escalate na kori situation to.
So to apnan itu protest laga opore administration kan ki appeal ko mun jai.
Mon ita than la election held krala teachers kan head kan na ahina mon ki khota gushe. तो मन थान की क्वादो थान कोसे what is your purpose, what is your agenda of all this election, so मन क्वादो platform ना दे इतु आगे आपने अनकी कौन सा तू वाला वीडियो देख किन्हीं क्लास सब कवर करो पारो platform दिया नहीं campaign करो दिया नहीं इतु थान आरो student power नहीं तो थान क्वादो मन थान भी they are just there administration ला साइट ऐसी थान भी they are not holding it ना तो थान बात जाए ना whatever negotiation has to be made थान करो आहिवो ahina ko kasi, so we're still waiting for the response ida tak bi ahana to ruki tak.
Acha sister aji apna itu protest jai ta to ki karni ase aro kila reason bra jai ase alap kodi parbo.
Okay, one of the main reason is like the students are not given enough power. Student council body ase hole okun kam koro na pare de. Like if we come up with a decision and go to the management, tahan no kulido we have no power against it. But then other colleges can do, they have the right to stand for the students. While as we, as the student body council, we will never have the never have enough power to stand for the student. And then another thing is, teachers can do this time do one particular department tahan ahina students kan la attendance kan shuru share, they are playing with the students attendance. Ek jun la maiki do 80% takishide and she was going to stand as a candidate for the post of president. But then when this news came out, the teachers along with the HOD hampered her attendance and then they took it down to 60. So tatebra HOD kange kota kushe chaina kile na hwase edu time there the HOD said that he had no power against this, so we had to go to the higher authorities. Deputy registrar kange jaise, dean kange jaise, applications kange likhe, and only after then they started to take changes. Tatebra tala attendance to 75 te uthai dishe, and then some are like commissioner can be. One was there, okay, one sir. When the students went and asked them for the post of finance, he said that it was not there. But then this year, I should have finance the post too. So before giving out the information, he lied that saying there was no finance. And then on the last day of nomination, after class gorja pichebra ulai dishia like ulai shina. So tatebra teachers kan la candidates kan he uncontested bra ulai dishia. So this is a council for the student body. Then why are the teachers coming and taking a part on it? Because teachers can do, they have no role in this. So student can assess, student body assess, so they will be standing for the student. If anything happens, any accident or anything that happens inside the campus, student body can have so teachers can do, they will have no power against the management again na. So itu karena mohon itu stand to give a voice for the students, for their rights, or to give them enough power, the power they deserve na itu ase.
So to apnan itu protest jai thaka do management hange tahan bi jani thakibo itu protest jata to tahan ra iku notification nilbi tahan ra eta dakte iku response dishna dana itu law pore.
The protest started at 8 a.m. this morning, and now faculties can tahan do by 8:45 to 9 the and then around 10 or 10:30 or so, teachers can head commissioners can for the election, and then they had a discussion with the students. So tatebra mohanbi like we told our problems, and then tahmi no down krina itya jaina meeting lo lase, and then they say that they will come with an answer. To itu rukhiya se mohan.
To aman huna sabte idu election do outsiders kan do mane day scholars kan do bitorde gusto na dia koise aro khali hostelers kan hi tan ra idu election do kurina tatibra tahan do office base kan do uthawu koina aman hunu pais to idu do hosana mishas na.
That is partly true because mohan we tried our best. Like student body ase ekta de thio kuina tahan so bi anole try kurste, but then the wardens also see they are under the management again, so if they do anything against the management, tahan job it is at risk right now. So the only thing they could do was students can get college na jaina back tahan dorm kan de parai diste, but then management kami jani lucia teaching faculties kan or whoever it may be to jana tahan ge mati dina tahan ge class de jai je to tambi opai thakena na itu do na hoisha.
To hostelers kan bi tan itula against this na tahan do management kan law de tahan bi agree kurina azitan.
They are also with us, the whole student general body, because tahana friend kami uthishido election karne ina nomination ula parnai ina itu karne they are with us, but then they are inside the campus. For us to we are outside the campus, so ekshila jurisdiction they are inside SJU na itu karne they have no power for that ina.
But today is the day. You and I are going to make it complete.
viewers ami khan laga samne de itu university laga din boina ase to taki bi hudau di kurubo itu tan students khan protest jata to reason to ki dakshe nelbi tan tala opinion bi itula opori ki is amen hudau di kuso acha first of all thank you sir for your time we can see that the students of this university outside the gate they are protesting against the election. So sir, what's your opinion on that, sir?
Good morning. Thank you for coming. Actually, I should say there is no issue. In a sense, we are implementing the rules and regulations which we have been following since the past 6 years, and we didn't have any issue those years. It's only this time we are having this issue. So when I ask the question, why this year, I get the answer. There are some few individuals who have not been able to satisfy the criteria to be a candidate, and so they are behind this whole issue. And so I feel that as students, their priority is education, and they are not politicians. They are supposed to focus most. We are there as their teachers and elders, and we are here to guide them. And taking part in the council, the council process is also part of the education. So therefore, they cannot expect themselves to behave like a politician. That's what I feel.
Okay, so we got to know that like some candidates, their attendance have been changed, or like their attendance have been decreased by some teachers, and like they couldn't be able to participate in this election. So is that true?
As far as I know, there is no way a teacher can manipulate or can change, because we have a system which is based on a software, so which is entered through the process of cross verification, which is done by the head of the department as well as my office. So I don't think there is any scope for any manipulation. And even if there is such a complaint, we look into it and then we go into the whole matter, and then we rely on the attendance register. So for every student who come with such complaint, we go individually and then we have an assessment, and which is countersigned by the HOD. So we don't have any such scope or room.
अच्छा तो सामान होना सब ते students खान बा कोई सीगे student council खान उठाई लिबी इदु administration खान बा तांगे puppet निशना use करिए for so many years. So इदु होसाना मिशास ना sir.
I first take one nishna. Tahan the students they are not politician. So what tahan ki expect kuri ase. Kila tahan do students ase ko ado man education paige na tahan bi je future laga kam khan bisaro laga asudo. So yate to idu university chola laga do idu government noy. To tahan tari ki expect kuri ase. What kind of their involvement are they expecting? Because if they're expecting to behave and work like a politician, then I'm sorry, they're having a wrong concept of the student's body. Because student's body is primarily created for the purpose of giving them training in leadership, so that they will, once they pass out and finish their studies and then they maybe take up their career as a politician, they will learn, they will recollect from what they've learned from this university. So we're trying to instill in them values like regularity, attendance, values of being sincere. We have a rule, there should be no backlog for all the candidates. Candidates can be backlog no lage. Our attendance to 80%. Idu duita main ase. Aro leader ko lido kun leader ase ko lido. A leader is a model for a role model for the community which he or she represents. So as a student leader, if a student is having 50% or 40% attendance and then have got 3-4 backlog, I don't think the student is a role model. Itu to ekdam wrong ho do. Itu bra student leader as ko do attendance pe inga ho lage, even 100% mi thaigo lage, or backlog na thaigo lage, so that he can be a role model, he can be an example. Na itu as.
So aman huna sabte itu election la opore the scholars khan gido apna bitode aiwo na dina khali hostelers khan brai itu election do tangi participate kurina. The election do khotom hojo candidate to select kuru uthau ko na amyan hunu pais to idu hosana mishas na sir.
To mishas. That is completely false information, because we are not forcing anyone to enter the classroom. Okay, the commission is carrying on with the election process because that is what they have been mandated. Tan ke do kam dishe election do kuribi gana tan idu kuribo tan. To tahan la kam do jaina idu students ke matule noy. Ami bhi jaina matule noy. Ye kun aiwa ai bhi do tan la kushias. If they don't want to vote also, it's up to them. Kun hoy. That is jabarjasti na man. So holibi the only thing is that idu process to shuru kurina jabo aru idu piche de the authority will decide what to do next kile mane mohan bi ekta manu run koran hoy so it is idu laga university to academic council par run korna ase so we have to now refer to the academic council whatever suggestion is brought and whatever direction is brought idu follow koribo amen na holibi amen ki kobo joborosti kuna kora to nai itla do idu to apni ani chaina salibi classroom sob empty ase so but the election commission will go on with the process to us
jata so amen huna sabte mane past 2-3 years pra ita takte students khan laga opinion ikun nale nelibe itu university la infrastructure hobi nelibe maintenance khan hobi nelibe tan la kotan ikun naloy khali administration khan bra itu tangi ki kurumun jes tan ki kumun jese tan itu kurina aise students khan laga opinion khan do naloy kona ai na hamen huni paise to du osas na mishas na sir
it will be false ase kile mane we have a feedback collection process mane student feedback every end of the this thing academic year we have a system of collecting feedback from every student and the feedbacks are all recorded and properly maintained. Secondly, we have a frequent interaction with the CRs and ACRs, that is class representative and assistant class representative. So this happens every semester and every semester 2-3 times one interaction. So during that time we listen our tahan laga grievances hune our tahan laga suggestions can be one loy itu do I think there are certain nolibi kumba students to na jani na kotha ko asni ki ami la bhaba shabd kile man one feedback to loy aro tahan laga grievances pe man hune we have a grievance redressal cell any student who has got the grievance is free to write a letter or maybe even contact the coordinator of the grievance redressal cell it was
to sir apnan itu pradesh jai thala opore kinau kulisi tahan apne han management khan or administration khan desu
etu protest laga to ami hanla bacha ase tahan do bhara mannu bi noy nolibi enemy bi noy ami lanjo bacha ase kumba ekjon duijon ba maybe misguide kurna ase etu to ami han bi ekta hisab ra tangi deal koribo understand koribo and then we'll try to reason out and try to make them understand that what they're doing is not correct because we are very clear on what we are doing is based on the rules and regulation which we have followed for the past 6 years 6 saal brahman ki gurna ase duai ase dubra ki dan na buji na ase bujai dibu bhalo bujai dibu to na tade ku alak edu reaction edu ku nahi na to mala bacha ase dui
so sir in regards to this what do you want to appeal to the students
actually I want them to really understand the key issue will be phal badan bujigna he stand gole bhalas kile mane mui ta tangi sa pishi pakto they are not actually aware of where they stand kote dan khara koisa na jane will be they are just standing there and then demanding something which is I should say ridiculous now doesn't make any sense to me come to your sense and then cooperate ami kaliba tangi koina ase have patience and cooperate kile mane ami anje khali 6 years hoina ase the university do we are improving every year by year man improve korna jai ase we cannot do things at one go na pare do idora I told them also yesterday yes there may be one or two loopholes or weaknesses but then you have to understand that it's a fledgling university and which once we come to know about the grievances or the loopholes we correct them now infrastructure will be if there is any defect we correct them so slowly gradually we are improving which we can't do it in one go na yes
to ami an tangla administration khan gibe interact kurse aru ami an jani paise ki taira ko sabte itu tan ki koise students khan ba ki koise tan do misha ase ina kona taira itu bi janai diase aru ami an ta ge hudise ki itu la opore tan ki kurlese nilbi tan itu la opore tan kina kurlese ekta solution nilbi ekta alternative ulawle esna na kon ami an hudise to taira janai chigi tan laga majude students or administration khala majude cooperate kurina balwa kota kona tan ba itu protest to solve kuri do kona itu bi taira janai dise aru amian huna sabti students khan do ede tan itatakte pura damde tan administration khan bra tange puppet nishna khilisi nelibe students union student council thaga do iku meaning nai nelibe useless ekta ina use kurisi na amian jani paise to itula opori be amian hudia udi kurse holibe amian jani paise ge iduhandu misha je ikuna itubi amian jani paise aro administration khan ba appeal gushe ge students khan ge kina hulibe tahan bi itula opode balwa kota kuina nulibe tahan ge cooperate kurina itula opode solve kurule bishi dur na jaule nulibe itu protest to biya no bole kane tahan bi tahan ge cooperate kurina solve kurule itubi tahan ba appeal kushe aro et students khan bi tahan la grievances kan nulibe tahan la problems kan share kurse ge idu university la maintenance kan nulibe facilities kan tahan ge tahan la opinion kota no ne nulibe tahan la point of view kan nole khali administration or teachers khan laga kotai loi kona itubi amian jani paise holibi kita amihan interact kurise administration khan ge amian jani paise itwandu misha ase aro itwandu hosa noe koina amian jani paise to viewers idga itulaga kota loi gena tahan majude kina holese nulibe tahan la majude kota kolese aro itu problem solve kuro kena itubi janai diese viewers inaga news or update karni sa dekbe NLTV mo reporter lembi ba sangtam with my video journalist Baran Toshi